So I want to start with Category 1 so we can review for the EOC. So I've got here for you your formula chart. So remember that you can reference this at any point in time during the exam. It will be a separate sheet that you can tear out. On this first piece for Category 1, it talks about functions, it talks about domain and range, y depends on x, function notation, and I want to go through a couple of things for you to remember. So if I say function, you have no repeated x's. Also on a graph, you have the vertical line test, where if you draw a vertical line, it will only touch the vertical line one time. So in a mapping, your x's go on the left, and on the right are your y's. In a table, x, domain, independent, input are all different words for your left-hand side. Y, range, dependent, output, all on the right-hand side. You can remember Dr. XY forgot his ID. For domain means x is independent, and range is y is the dependent. You can also remember dry mix. Function notation shows that y is the same as f of x, y depends on x, y is a function of x. So if we have f of x is equal to 2x squared plus 3, and then I say f of 1, notice that 1 is in the same spot as x, so wherever x is, you will put the 1, and then you can solve using PEMDAS. Or f of 3, we'll put the 3 where the x is. So what I want to do with you is I want to do a couple of practice problems. So here we have we do and you do. So I'm going to do the we do's with you, and then I'm going to pause the video and let you go through and do the you do's. Really dark. Sorry about that. There we go. Which of the following equations does not represent a function? So remember, you can do a couple of things here. We can graph this. Okay, and when you have your graphing calculator, you can very easily plug in all of these equations, and you can see if it will pass the vertical line test. So we can say, so y, remember, f of x is the same as y equals 3. Nope. We can hit tab, and we can delete this and go to relation, and we can tell it now x equals 1. Well, that's a vertical line, so that's probably it. But we can hit tab. We're already in relation, so we can put in the standard form 2x plus 3y equals 9. Okay, that's going to be a function because it's linear. We can even put in x squared. Oh, I'm in relation. I forgot to put equals y. And this is a parabola. So if I was to draw a vertical line, the only one that's going to touch multiple times is this x equals 1. So that is going to be a non-function. All of the rest of these are functions. So on this one, we're looking, does it pass the vertical line test? This one says, what is the range of the function? So remember, range is y or f of x. So when the domain, or x, is -3, -1, and 1. So we are going to put these values in for x, and we're going to solve it. So we can say 2 times -3 plus 3. We can say 2 times -1 plus 3. We're going to say 2 times 1 plus 3. Well, again, you can, if you really are feeling lazy, you can use your calculator, you can use your smarts. I hit the wrong button, we need to add a calculator. And I can say 2 times -3 plus 3. I can say 2 times -1 plus 3. I can say 2 times 1 plus 3. And this is going to be my range, because this is my output when I put in these numbers, so -3, 1, and 5. Which is going to be careful, because see how the signs are different on this one, so be very careful with that. Which of the following is equivalent to 4x plus 6y equals 9? So notice that this is in standard form. And again, standard form is right here on your formula chart. And we're going to go to y equals mx plus b. So we need to get y by itself. So you can do this a couple of ways, and I'm going to show you how you can check your work. So I'm going to write 4x plus 6y equals 9. So I need to get y by itself. So I'm going to have to move my 4x. 6 is being multiplied by y. So I need to divide everything by 6, and I get y equals. Now 9 over 6 can simplify by 3. So 3 over 2. And 4 over 6 can simplify by 2 to 2 over 3. So now I can look. Now notice the way I've written it, I've got my slope last, so be cautious there. So it looks like it's going to be A. B, the sign is not correct on the slope and it's flipped. And then on C, that was before we divided by 6. So it is going to be A. Now you can check your work by going to your graph. And you can go ahead and you can put in your answer choice. So I'm going to say control divide. And I'm going to say negative 2 over 3x plus 3 over 2. There's my line. Now if I hit tab and I go back and I put in a relation, I can put in the standard form for x plus 6y equals 9. And it overlaps. So that tells me that because it overlaps, I did it correctly. If I'd done it incorrectly, meaning you change this back to a regular function. If I put in this 3 over 2 x plus 3 over 2, I can see that it does not overlap that line, and I did not do it correct. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video, and I want you to try on the you-do, the 1, 2, and 3. You can input your answers on the Ed puzzle, and then it will take you to the next piece, which will be me showing you the correct answers for this. And then I would like for you to work on these released questions. Then we'll have a second video going over this next page, and so on. So, if you'll answer the questions on Ed Puzzle for 1, 2, and 3, and then watch the notes part, and then you'll do the released questions on your own. So welcome back. So this one says, which of the following could be x and y if this is a function? So function means no repeat x's. So you should have looked at just these x values. Well, there's a 2 and there's a 2, so it can't be that. Negative 1 and negative 3, so it has to be A. Given this equation, what is the value of g of negative 2? So again, that is in place of x. So wherever I see this t, or rather, it's in place of t, excuse me, I'm going to put negative 2. So I'm going to say negative 2 squared minus 3 times negative 2 plus 7. Well, I know negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. Negative 3 times negative 2 is a positive 6 plus 7. So 4 plus 6 is 10 plus 7 is 17. Now remember, you have a floating decimal here, so you really only need to use those first ones. You can put the plus sign if you wanted to. Which of the following is equivalent? Again, move your x. We're subtracting because it's a positive. And divide. Now I have to divide by a negative 5. Be careful with your signs. 15 over negative 5 is a negative 3. Negative divided by a negative is a positive. Can't be this one, that's a positive 3. Okay, so I'm looking negative 3, needs to be 2/5. It has to be B. So at this time, I would like you to work on your released questions.